Hey guys, how's it going? This is just a video showing off my new puzzle modification. And a few, maybe about a month ago, I built the Siamese cube, and it was a lot of fun. And I wanted more. I wanted to build something that had the same basic properties, but was bigger. So I thought if you had one 3x3 as a central 3x3 and use the rest of the corner edges, I guess you'd call them, and attached three more, what that would be like. And that's what this is. And the idea of fusing more than one, or fusing more than two, I'm sorry, Rubik's cubes together is not original. And I have seen, other Siamese type puzzles with, more than just two, but this shape I believe is original. I have not seen, a Siamese type puzzle in this shape. But if it has been done, I don't really care. I'm not trying to make a profit off of this. This is just for my own personal entertainment, and just to try and get better at modding. And when I made this one, there were a few things that I didn't consider, and that was when I was cutting these corners, these two corners and that edge piece in there. I didn't consider sanding them together and making them flush. So you can kind of see right here there's a gap, and if I really wanted to I can actually squeeze it together, but it kind of bugs me that I didn't take that into account, and it's shaved down too much where I can't fix it basically. But I kept that in mind when I was making this one, and I did my best to not make any gaps, at the connection point, I guess. Basically, I tried to take as much as what I learned from making this Siamese cube and applied it to making this one, and it was a pretty easy build. I would say there wasn't any like epoxy sculpt or like building up that I had to do, or extending or anything like that. It probably took me about 7 to 10 hours in total, and I think this is my fourth mod that I've done. And I feel like I did a pretty good job on the mod itself. The only thing was I didn't have stickers to fit these corners, so I did have to cut them, and you might be able to see they're not all symmetrical. Oops. Well, that's fine with me. As long as there's stickers there and they're the right color, that works for me. These are built out of YJ Guanlongs, mostly because they're very inexpensive and they're very good puzzles. I learned very quickly that they were pretty easy to mod with too. So yeah, basically I'll have a little not a demonstration, but like a slideshow on how I built this puzzle coming up right now. Alright guys, so I'm just going to show some pictures from the building process of this. Right here you can see the 5 puzzles that I was using, and how I took all the stickers off of where I needed to take them off, because I didn't want to cut through the stickers, because that's what I did last time, and it made a bigger mess, and I didn't want to have to deal with that. You can kind of see it starting to take shape, but I mean, I haven't even started cutting or anything, but it's just showing how I'm gonna put the pieces together. And here in this picture, it's basically just the starting stages of me starting to cut the pieces, but there's a lot more work that needs to go into them. Right here you can see on the left 2 edge pieces, and on the right 2 corner pieces. One of each have been cut, and then the other 2 have not been cut. And then this picture is just showing all the edge pieces cut and where they need to go. And then this picture, this is when I started sanding the pieces. You can see on the right 3 pieces, they're bunched together in one, where the ones on the left, they aren't bunched like that. But I was just trying to show how the edges of where I cut the pieces, they will all line up with all three pieces. Whereas if I only sanded the pieces individually, they wouldn't line up, and then the shape of the puzzle would be, it'd be kind of lopsided, and then it'd be hard to glue. So doing this made it so that all the pieces came out smooth for, each bunch. They were all in line with each other. Whereas, again, if I didn't do that, they would be more jagged and hard to glue. And here in this picture, you can see on the left is 2 edge pieces, on the right are 2 corner pieces. One of the edges have been sanded and one of the corners have been sanded. So you can kind of see the difference between pieces that are sanded and pieces that aren't sanded. This is kind of what I was talking about earlier, where if I didn't sand if I didn't sand if I didn't sand the pieces in these little bunches, then it wouldn't look so flat. And since I did sand them all as one, you can see that they line up very nicely, and that just helps tremendously when gluing, the other halves together. This is once I started gluing the pieces together. You can see on the left are 2 edge pieces that aren't glued, and on the right are 2 corner pieces that aren't glued, and then behind them are their basically 2 edge pieces and 2 corner pieces that have been glued together. So you can kind of start to see how this needs to be put together and how it needs to be assembled. And now in this picture, these are all the corner pieces that have been glued. And you can kind of see, in the seams where I've glued them, there's just like a little ridge. And what I decided to do, here's just one piece individually. I wanted to, I wanted to basically get rid of that as best I could. So I just sanded the top of it. And here in this next picture, you can barely see it at all compared to the last picture anyway. But this just makes the top smooth, and then it won't be as noticeable in the sticker when I put the sticker on it. Now here in this picture, these are all the sanded, glued and sanded corners and edges. You can kind of see I didn't do the best job sanding, but the stickers cover up all the shiny black parts. So here in this picture, I'm just showing one of the 3x3s with the new corners and edges put into them, and the stalks that are sticking out will go into the middle portion of the middle 3x3 where all 8 of the corners and then 4 of the edges have been taken out. And this next picture, you can start to see the building process where one of the corner 3x3s have been connected to the main central 3x3, and then the next one, this is when I've attached 2. And this puzzle was kind of difficult to assemble. In all the pieces are done and glued and sanded. Just assembling it after that was a bit difficult because you really, especially with the YJ Guanlong, it's a tremendous puzzle, and it's hard to pop basically. So it's hard to take a piece out. So you have to make sure the tensions are very loose when you start to assemble, and then after you've put the pieces that you need to in, then you need to tighten it. So it just gets kind of tedious, tightening and untightening where and when, and then if it's too loose, then pieces are falling out, and it's a bit difficult to finally get a sort of tactic to do it. And right here you can see 3 of the corner 3x3s have been assembled now, and there's only 1 left. And now this is the final product. Just all I need to do is sticker it, and that's basically the assembly process. And here we have the finished product. So there's not much more else to say, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to demonstrate some turning first. It's pretty cool. I actually really like moving this this central 3x3's top layer, because you're moving these two 3x3s with it. It seems really cool. And there were a few problems I had when I was building this. I mentioned in the slideshow that tensioning was kind of an issue. And the thing with Siamese cubes, you don't want them too loose, or obviously they're going to fall apart, but you don't want them too tight either, because you can see in this gap there's blue stickers right here. And if I turn these two layers, you can see that they're sliding over top of those blue stickers. And if I had it too tight, it'd be chipping at those stickers and eventually peeling them off. So it was kind of annoying to try and get the tensions just right, and they're probably still not even right, to where it won't fall apart, but I won't be peeling any of the stickers. But yeah, there's some kind of weird shapes you can do with this. I've barely moved this puzzle at all. I basically, built it, finished it, recorded the slideshow part, and then now I'm recording this, so I've barely turned it at all, actually. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to scramble it, and I think it's going to be pretty easy to solve. I think it's just going to be like solving a few of these. But I actually don't really know how I'm going to solve the middle one, if it's going to be like a 3x3 or what it's going to be like. But anyway, let's go ahead and start mixing some of these up. Now I have noticed sometimes there will be a little bit of, oh, here we go, there's a little bit of like catching. I'm not sure if it's catching on these stickers in here or if it's something internally that's going wrong, but that's just something I'm gonna have to deal with. Move on to this one. It looks kind of cool without the middle one scrambled, but I'm going to go ahead and... I guess you can't... I think you can only do 180 degree turns. Because I don't... Oh, no, we can't do that. Because we can't make a turn turning this layer this way, because these are fused up here together, so I can't turn it like this. So I guess all we can really do, I never thought about that, are turns just like this. Alright guys, well, I guess I'm gonna call that scrambled. I'm actually a little bit disappointed. I thought I was gonna be able to mix up this center one a bit more, but I guess it makes sense since I can't. These, only the white and the yellow faces are can be scrambled, I guess. But anyway, it turned out a lot better than I was expecting, and it looks pretty cool. Cause I can do like stuff like this. Oh, wait a second. Okay, I just figured it out. I figured out how to do other turns. Wow, I feel silly. Okay, let's keep mixing this up. Alright, well, now I'm going to call that scrambled, because now that you can see the middle 3x3 is mixed up. So, I'm going to go and solve this, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I definitely enjoyed making this puzzle, and I'm sure I'm going to enjoy solving it. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later.